it's me and Gatsby, and we just wanted to share a book with you. This is one of my favorites. It's called How Rocket Learned to Read, and it is written by Tad Hills. That's the author, the person that wrote the words. And I wanted to tell you a little something about this book. I thought that this was perfect because a lot of you learned to read this year. And you are going to become such wonderful readers the more that you practice over and over and over again. So I just wanted to let you know how proud I am of you for working so hard at home to make sure you're doing your reading every single day. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and read it. How Rocket Learned to Read. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha, my first student, wonderful," she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a..." "But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "I am so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. "Oh yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read." Here's the sign right here. It says, "Class starts today." "Can't read? Fantastic." She waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to nap," Rocket said. No, there will be no napping in class," declared the bird, except, of course, during nap time. "Well then, I can take a nap over here," said Rocket. "I've had a very busy morning." "Not to worry. I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." Now that's a phrase, "until the weather turns." What do you think that means? I think what she's saying is, the weather will be changing. Like we have our seasons, fall, winter, spring, summer. So until the weather turns, she's talking about the weather changing. And then the sign here says, "Class starts today." As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the yellow bird hung her banner. "All the wondrous, mighty, glorious alphabet," she marveled, "where it all begins." See her banner? That's the whole alphabet from A to Z. She's very excited about teaching Rocket to read. Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was disturbed. Look at his face. Disturbed. He's not very happy, is he? I think he just wants to sleep. But before long, he found himself captivated. Captivated means that he was very interested in it and wanted to do what she was wanting. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthly smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read. He felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? He wondered. Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird. More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little yellow bird was gone. So he is very much interested in finding out what happened. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. Look, his book's up in the tree. At last, the little yellow bird appeared. Hello, how wonderful to see you in class, she chirped. I can tell by your waggly tail that you are well rested. I'd like to hear the end of the story, please, said Rocket. That seems like a fine way to start the day, chirped the bird. She gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom. In the morning, the bird taught him a new letter. Here he's learning the letter B. And he had learned until he had learned all the wondrous, mighty, glorious alphabet. Together they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With a G and many R's, they spelled Mr. Barker's growl. Grrr. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh! Soon they were spelling words like F-A-L-L, fall, for the gusty time of year, and R-E-D, red, for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon, the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and about birds flying south for the winter. And one thing I noticed, this word right here, fall, all, has the word all in it, A-L-L. And of course, red, red, I know how you guys love to sound out words. Then one day the weather turned and the letter banner disappeared. See you again in the glorious spring, the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, don't forget, words are built one letter at a time. The days grew shorter and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy. Soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. So if we look here, we can kind of tell the season in this story right now is winter. See the snow, and he made the letters A, B, C in the snow. He remembered the little bird's alphabet and practiced his letters. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like dig, ig, and wind, end, and cold, old. He made new friends and spelled their names. Hello, Emma. Emma. Hi there, Fred. Fred. He spelled everything. Sun, melt. When Rocket spelled mud, mud, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and the sign appeared. Class starts tomorrow. What do y'all think? Do you think he's happy and excited? I think he is. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to the classroom. As he waited, he spelled wag, W-A-G, W-A-G. Soon the little bird arrived. "Aha, my star student," she sang. "How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. Welcome back, Rocket." Then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. They read about Buster, the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. Look at all the books. Rocket's going to become a great reader. He is really practicing hard, and I know you are too at home. And when they were done, they read it again and again and again. And that's one of the most important things to become a better reader. You have to read books over and over and over again. And I want for all of you to be doing that. Okay? I am so proud of all of you. This is a fiction book. It's not true because, of course, animals don't go to school. But I will tell you, I would love it if they did, especially Gatsby. Okay, I'm going to talk with y'all soon, and I hope you enjoyed the book.